What's up, YouTube? This is MathWiz97 and welcome back to Monday Night Raw. We are just 6 days away from the Cyber Sunday special event. This is the go-home edition of Monday Night Raw. It is electric here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, a sold-out arena in Minneapolis. As everybody, you can just feel it, it's in the air. Cyber Sunday is just around the corner. It's on the horizon. But we are opening things up for this week's episode of Raw, kicking things off with the Outcasts. That's right, Sami Zayn. He is set to respond to Curtis Axel's offer on whether or not he will or will not join the Outcasts. And you can see Curtis Axel tonight is flanked by his allies, his fellow Outcast members, Bo Dallas and Heath Slater, the Raw Tag Team Champions. Of course, Slater and Bo Dallas, they won those titles back at Battleground when they defeated the Primetime Players. And as of late, it seems as though the Usos have called out Dallas and Slater. They seem to be the next team who really want a shot at those tag team titles. That situation is still ongoing, but tonight, Dallas and Slater, they are here flanking Curtis Axel, and, just knowing the way that the Outcasts operate, be very curious to see how the situation plays out. Just knowing, there's a lot on the line here for Sami Zayn. His future is at stake here. Does he decide to join with the Outcasts to sign away his future to Curtis Axel? Or does Sami Zayn continue doing what he's doing now and risk floundering in obscurity, just meandering at the bottom of the card? It's a lot weighing on the mind of Sami Zayn here tonight as he approaches the ring. Of course, it was a couple of weeks ago that Curtis Axel defeated Sami Zayn, and that's what sparked this whole situation. You can see these two men just staring each other down face to face. The intensity is just palpable. You could cut this tension with a knife. Well, wait a minute, there's Adrian Neville. Adrian Neville making his way down to ringside. I'd have to say that's a smart decision on the part of Adrian Neville. I was worried with Bo Dallas and Heath Slater at ringside. Should Zayn say no, you could definitely see a brawl break out here. But what is Sami going to say? You can see Zayn, a nod to Adrian Neville. And whoa, wait a minute! What the hell? What the hell? Adrian Neville? No. You've got to be kidding me. You saw that look to Curtis Axel? No. Now Neville to the top rope, red arrow. Adrian Neville has just stabbed Sami Zayn in the back. And is Adrian Neville the newest member of the Outcasts? Was this all a setup for the very beginning? Of course, Neville saying, I've got your back, Sami. Never forget that. And then he betrays him. Oh my God. Well, Triple H, he says he's gonna find Seth and Sheamus a partner, but Seth does not seem too pleased. I mean, Seth and Triple H, obviously, they do not have the best history with one another. They've been... There's always that, you know, even if they're not getting physically... Even if there aren't any physical altercations, there's always that little, you know, that tension bubbling underneath the surface. So now Seth and Sheamus, their fate is in Triple H's hands. I mean, I can understand why Seth would be a bit skeptical, but they're gonna have a third partner, so I don't know. Maybe things will work out for them in the end. But yeah, we'll address the Cyber Sunday match card in just a few moments. But for right now, we've got some singles action. We saw the Outcasts make their send a shocking message at the start of the show. But now we have the fourth member of the Outcasts, the current United States champion and former member of the Lucha Dragons. This is Sin Cara, coming to the ring decked out like a golden god. And we do know that Sin Cara will be defending his United States Championship at Cyber Sunday. We don't know against who yet, but we do know that he has, well, been scouting out the competition as of late. Last week we saw Kalisto take on Brian Kendrick. Sin Cara came down to watch at the top of the ramp, the stage. He distracted Kalisto, gave Brian Kendrick an opening, and Kendrick, of course, picked up the victory, winning via that bully choke of his. But then, the most interesting thing, perhaps, after that, was when Noam Dar appeared behind Sin Cara, got in the United States Champion's face, and, well, sent a message basically saying, hey, I know I just got here to Monday Night Raw, but I've got my eyes on your championship. So tonight, Sin Cara will be in singles action. He gets an opportunity to send a message to whoever his challenger at Cyber Sunday may be. And tonight, it looks like he's going to go one-on-one with Zack Ryder, who I'm sure Ryder also has a decent bit weighing on his mind. Of course, it was just 2 weeks ago when his partner Mojo Rawley went head-to-head with Samoa Joe and, well, just got absolutely obliterated by the Samoan submission machine. So Mojo Rawley was put in the hospital. He's on the shelf right now, so Zack Ryder, no hype bros for him tonight. He's just coming out here by himself, taking on the United States Champion, which could be a huge opportunity for Zack. So we'll see how he goes, how he fares in this matchup tonight. So these two men lock up, a collar and elbow tie-up. You can just see, you know, despite this, I think Ryder's got a slight size advantage here, but don't discredit the power of Sin Cara, the pure aggression. Oh, God. But you want to talk about aggression? That was an aggressive forearm right there by Zack Ryder out of the corner. But don't discredit the power of Sin Cara. You know, his size may be deceiving, but as we've seen in the past, or especially recently, Sin Cara, typically a high flyer, but recently he has been evolving his arsenal a bit, picking up some more power-based moves, some more submission grappling-style moves. Oh, but look at this! That's vintage Sin Cara. Diving through the middle ropes. Taking out Zack Ryder, now launching him into the barricade. Sin Cara, of course, shocked everyone when he won the United States Championship after joining the Outcasts. Winning it in a Fatal 4-Way matchup, defeating the likes of Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn, and Jack Swagger, former 3-time United States champion. And Sin Cara, I mean, it did not take him long to prove his worth as a member of the Outcasts. And he has been able to back that up. He did retain the title against Adrian Neville just last month in Neville's rematch. And tonight so far, well, it's a back-and-forth contest between Sin Cara and Zack Ryder, as Ryder seems to be firing up. As there's an Irish whip. Oh, countered. No, but a counter by Ryder, the knees to the face. Man, there's a drop kick off the middle rope. Drop kick off the middle rope. Zack Ryder's heating up. Zack Ryder, forearm in the corner to the face. And Zack Ryder, this usually sets up one of his signature maneuvers. Woo, woo, woo. You know it, the broski boot. The boot straight into the face of Sin Cara. Might have knocked him out cold. Ryder the cover. 1. No. Only a 1 count. Sin Cara powers out of the broski boot before even a 2. And now Zack Ryder's measuring him. Zack Ryder's measuring him. He's got him. Rough Ryder. Well, that 1 count may have just been a fluke. Ryder hits the Rough Rider, hooks the leg. 1. Has he done it 2? No! Sin Cara kicks out again, gets the shoulder off the canvas just before the 3, and Zack Ryder, well, he hit him with his best shot, and well, what's he got to do now? What is he going to have to do to put away the United States champion? There's just that grit, that resolve on the part of Sin Cara, refusing to quit in this matchup. Oh, and look at that schoolboy, but he's lifting him up, drives him down off that schoolboy powerbomb. And again, there's just that raw power of Sin Cara. Do not underestimate this man. There's a reason why he is your United States champion is now. He's got him by the leg, This is the same move he used to win the title, to force Adrian Neville to submit. Now he's looking to try to break Zack Ryder's leg with this stretch muffler. And Ryder's got no choice but to submit. This match is over. And Sin Cara, a dominant victory over Zack Ryder here tonight. He took Zack Ryder's best move, his best shot, shrugged it off, and then put Ryder away, forced him to submit with that stretch muffler. So Sin Cara, a massive victory going into Cyber Sunday, going into his next United States title defense. Oh wait, but look at the stage. Look at the stage, there's Noam Dar. Oh wait, but look out behind you, Noam Dar. Look out behind you, there's Brian Kendrick. Brian Kendrick looking to spoil the party for Noam Dar, drops him with the standing sliced bread. Now Brian Kendrick setting his sights on the US title, declaring he should be the next #1 contender, but look out behind you, Kendrick. There's Kalisto, and we know Kalisto's got personal beef with Sin Cara. You've been waiting very patiently, ladies and gentlemen, but now it's finally time to reveal the first half of the Cyber Sunday match card. The Revival will team up with Baron Corbin to take on the alliance of Sheamus, Seth Rollins, and the third teammate, which will be decided by you. You will get to vote on whether it will be Cedric Alexander, Zack Ryder, or Fandango joining forces with Sheamus and Rollins. I've also been instructed by Triple H to inform you that this is his way of giving these superstars a chance. He wanted to pick 3 guys who he feels as though are deserving of the opportunity to shine. Somebody who hasn't really had much of an opportunity to showcase their skills as of late. So these are the 3 guys he picked. I don't know how Sheamus or Seth are going to feel about this, but that's what they're going to have to work with. Then we have our United States Championship matchup, as Sin Cara will defend against either the Brian Kendrick, Kalisto, or Noam Dar. Once again, that will be decided via a fan vote. You will choose who Sin Cara will face at Cyber Sunday. And finally, the main event of the evening, a matchup that has been months in the making. It's AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe in a World Heavyweight Championship #1 contenders match. Will this one be a Falls Count Anywhere match, a Last Man Standing match, or a First Blood match? You will get to choose the stipulation. So be sure to stay tuned for later in the week when we will be dropping a video regarding the voting process for Cyber Sunday. And also be sure to stay tuned for the next episode where we will go through the SmackDown half of the match card. And I do have one final announcement before we jump back to the in-ring action. Next week, it has officially been announced that the Outcasts will defend their tag team championships against the Usos. That'll be next week's main event, so be sure to stick around for that. And now, back to the show. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, as we get set for our next singles contest. And here you see a former WWE superstar, but as a part of the new superstar initiative, we've seen new talent, we've seen returning faces come back to try to earn themselves a WWE contract. And the situation is the same for Kurt Hawkins here tonight. He's looking to secure himself a spot on the Raw roster if he can get a victory tonight. But that's certainly been easier said than done. We've seen some of these superstars measure up to the task. We've seen them take full advantage of the opportunities they've been given, but I think just as many superstars have failed to earn themselves a contract. So And it really all depends on who you're going up against tonight. And Curt Hawkins, well, certainly is going up against some stiff competition tonight. I don't know exactly how Curt Hawkins is going to fare, because he's going up against the undefeated Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin. And you want to talk about Cyber Sunday. You want to talk about getting prepped, getting ready to send a message to your Cyber Sunday opponent. Baron Corbin going to be sending a direct statement to Seth Rollins and Sheamus tonight. As I said, Baron Corbin, he is undefeated. The only matchup that he has lost was via a forfeit at WrestleMania when he no-showed his United States title defense against Curtis Axel. That is the only loss on Corbin's record. I mean, I guess you could count a... I don't know exactly how it went down in the record books. I think it ended up being listed as just a straight-up handicap match. But at Payback, he was supposed to team up with Seth Rollins to take on the Revival. But, of course, before the match even began, Baron Corbin blindsided Seth Rollins. He assaulted him, laid him out on the concrete floor with a deep six. And, I mean, he didn't even take part in the matchup. So Seth was left to the Wolves. He had to fight the Revival 2-on-1. Obviously, Seth was just picked apart, systematically destroyed by the Revival. And that was, well, prior to last week, that was the last time we saw Seth Rollins set foot in a WWE ring. Baron Corbin, he has been, consistently assaulting Seth Rollins. He's been consistently a thorn in his side. Of course, a former disciple of Seth Rollins. Team Rollins, formerly consisting of Baron Corbin, Scott Dawson, and Dash Wilder. But the Revival... Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. The match has just begun. And look at this. End of days. End of days by Corbin out of the gate. 2, 3, and it's a foregone conclusion. Baron Corbin wasting no time, hitting the end of days right off the bat, and it's lights out for Curt Hawkins. Well, I don't know how you can send a more impressive message, a more striking statement than that. Curt Hawkins stood absolutely no chance against the Lone Wolf tonight. So the Revival, Baron Corbin, they're looking strong going into Cyber Sunday. And Sheamus, Seth Rollins, hope you're watching this closely. Well, no. Ah, man, Corbin, the match is over. You already sent your message. You already made your statement. You don't got to make another one, but he's going to do it anyway because he's Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin launching him into the barricade, bouncing him head first. Off of that barricade now into the steel steps goes Curt Hawkins. Well, Curt Hawkins, he's defenseless right now. He was laid out by the end of days, but Baron Corbin is still just pummeling the man on the outside. There's nothing the referee can do. He doesn't want to face the wrath of the Lone Wolf. As now Baron Corbin looks like he's going to drag him back to the ring. Baron Corbin tossing Curt Hawkins back inside the ring. Well, and this is just a massacre right now. Seth Rollins, Sheamus, are you watching very closely? Because here's Baron Corbin with the second end of days. 1 for Rollins, 1 for Sheamus. And Cyber Sunday is going to be hellacious. And there you saw the history. A matchup 6 months in the making. A journey that started all the way back at the Royal Rumble with the debut of AJ Styles. Finally, will come to an end this Sunday at Cyber Sunday. And of course, the winner of that matchup this Sunday between Samoa Joe and AJ Styles will go on to challenge the World Heavyweight Champion Cesaro at SummerSlam. So it's a big, a big fight feel coming up this Sunday, and it's a big stipulation at play because for one man, they will move up to the top of the card, they will move up to the main event. But for the other, they drop all the way down to the bottom of the ladder. And, well, they're just going to have to build themselves back up from there. But this matchup, I mean, it's going to be big between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. But tonight, Samoa Joe competing in our main event. AJ Styles is still recuperating from the injuries he sustained after Samoa Joe drove him into the power box. But Styles will be medically cleared for Cyber Sunday. Wait a minute. Apollo Crews? Well, last I checked, Apollo Crews was a SmackDown superstar. What's he doing appearing on Monday Night Raw? Well, was there some sort of deal made backstage that I was not aware of? Well, either way, Apollo Crews is making his way down to the ring. He's dressed to compete. So it looks like Apollo Crews is going to go one-on-one with Samoa Joe. Huh. I'm going to have to do some digging into this. I was not made aware. I don't even have him listed on my lineup sheet. It just says Samoa Joe set to compete in the main event. Nobody told me Apollo Crews was in the building. Nobody told me that Apollo Crews was set to compete here tonight. But it appears as though he is, and, well, this crowd is in just as much shock as I am. We haven't seen Apollo Crews since, last time we saw Apollo Crews was on an episode of Main Event several months ago when Tyler Breeze, severely injured his leg. Crews had been out of action for quite some time, but now he's back in a Monday Night Raw ring. Well, the referee rings the bell. This match is going to get underway. It looks like this is official. And even Samoa Joe appeared to be a little bit stunned. He was not expecting Apollo Crews to be his opponent tonight. And Apollo Crews certainly leveled Samoa Joe with that bicycle kick. And you saw him throw up a pose for the crowd. Got to keep them engaged, especially when you're going up against a guy like Samoa Joe. You need all the help you can get. As much momentum, as much support on your side to try to balance out just the pure aggression, the brute force that is Samoa Joe. He's just a wrecking ball out there. And Apollo Crews is going to feel the wrath of Samoa Joe right now. Devastating knee strikes, 4 of them in a row. And Apollo Crews falls to the floor. As the referee begins the count, Samoa Joe is content to just watch Crews get to his feet. He's going to goad him to get back inside the ring. Samoa Joe clearly saying, well, hey, if you can't get back in this ring, well then, you're not fit to compete against me. Let's look at Crews going up to the top rope. Apollo Crews up top. Oh! Samoa Joe tried to chop him down, but Apollo Crews lunges at him. There's a massive elbow drop straight to the heart off that diving shoulder block. Like a battering ram, Apollo Crews flying off that top rope, and now Crews off the ropes, and a huge clothesline, and a kip up from Crews. Apollo Crews starting off on the right foot, as there's a scoop. No, oh! Into a rolling cutter there, or I was almost about to call it a reverse DDT. That's not right. But Apollo Crews certainly is bringing the fight. Samoa Joe is under some intense fire right now, as Apollo Crews whips him off the ropes. Got him for the spine buster. Devastating spine buster. Samoa Joe rolling out to the apron, trying to get a moment's reprieve. Pulled himself up using the ropes, but Apollo Crews with full of the steam. No! Looked to knock him off that apron, but Samoa Joe countered with a kick to the face and just lights him up with a flurry of body shots and a slap. Drives the knee into the face now of Apollo Crews. And of course, if it comes down to a battle of strikes, that's going to be Samoa Joe all day. He'll run circles around you. That was a weird metaphor. Oh, weird metaphor for me to use, but either way, Samoa Joe off the senton, into the cover. 2. But no, Apollo Crews kicks out. And of course, Samoa Joe's not done. Samoa Joe cannot afford to lose this matchup tonight, not going into what is going to be a brawl for the ages against AJ Styles this Sunday. But Apollo Crews could play the role of spoiler, and Samoa Joe was not aware that Crews would be his opponent tonight. So this could be the opportunity for Crews to catch Samoa Joe napping. But Samoa Joe, he seems to be laser focused as he hangs Crews off that top rope, and now got the Boston Crab. A Boston Crab cinched in here by the Samoan submission machine. Center of the ring, Apollo Crews, no rope break to save him, so he's just going to have to power out of it. The strength in the legs of Apollo Crews able to force Samoa Joe to break the hold. And now Apollo Crews will lighten him up in the corner with devastating strikes. Irish whip sending him into the opposite corner and a big-time splash. Big-time splash in the corner by Apollo Crews. And he is fired up right now. As he brings Samoa Joe to his feet, he's going to send him off the ropes. This is a big match. Oh, but Crews, he hesitated. Crews with a hesitation, and Samoa Joe's going to make him pay for it. You know he will. As Crews whipped into the corner by Joe, and Samoa Joe knife-edge chop. You could hear it echo throughout this arena. I say that Samoa Joe cannot afford to lose this matchup tonight, but how about Apollo Crews? If this is his Raw debut, a loss here would be crippling, would be devastating. I mean, we saw that Crews had kind of been struggling over on SmackDown prior to his injury, and I'm sure he cannot afford a loss here to Samoa Joe tonight. That'd be the last thing he wants. These two men going full throttle, all out in this matchup, as Crews again springs to the top rope, just waiting for Joe to get in position. Joe turns around, look out! Diving axe handle by Apollo Crews. He caught Samoa Joe right on the button. And now, enziguri to the back of Joe's head. Joe is out like a light. And Apollo Crews, this could be the moment for Apollo Crews to put Samoa Joe away. This could be a huge upset as Crews has got Joe in the gorilla press, drives him down, measuring him, and now, standing moonsault, hook of the leg. This could be it. 1, 2, no! Apollo Crews, the gorilla press moonsault combo, not enough to put the Samoan submission machine away. Well, Crews telling Joe to bring it on. But Crews, I mean, he hit him with one of his best shots. I'm sure that confidence could be starting to fade. But he's looking for something big. He's got Samoa Joe up top. He's got him up in the little counter by Joe. Joe kicks him off, and oh! A diving, spinning wheel kick right on the jaw. Apollo Crews reeling now, and Samoa Joe from behind, German suplex. But he keeps it hooked. He's looking for the trifecta. He's got him with the dragon suplex. And one more straight jacket. There it is, the third and final. The Chimera Plex connects. 2. No, a kick out by Crews. Apollo Crews, he's hanging in there. But that's only going to piss Samoa Joe off as Samoa Joe. Flurry of kicks right to the face, right to the nose of Apollo Crews. And now it's a Dragon Sleeper hold. A Dragon Sleeper is applied on Apollo Crews. Crews, his neck just being the amount of torque on the submission hold. But look at this, counter by Crews. Crews with the knees, able to force Joe to break the hold. And now, Joe in the corner. Apollo Crews looking to rain down with the strikes. Oh, but a quick counter by Joe. Crews only got 2 of those 10 punches, and Joe got all of that drop kick right on the jaw. As he brings Crews to his feet, he's going to go for it again. He's going to go for another Chimera Plex. Well, there's 1. There's 2. And Crews, I mean, Crews is in trouble. Crews gets hit with another Chimera Plex. And Joe wasting no time, wasting little time, taking him over to the corner, perching him up on that top rope. He's thinking Muscle Buster. No. Crews able to counter the Muscle Buster. Drops down off that top rope. And now look at Crews rallying with the strikes. Crews, he's backing Joe up against the ropes, backing him into a corner. And now Samoa Joe gets dumped to the floor. But Apollo Crews, he's feeling it. He could be looking to fly, looking to take a huge risk. Apollo Crews over the no! Over the top rope to the floor, but Samoa Joe, there was no water in the pool. Samoa Joe ducking out of harm's way. Apollo Crews crashes and burns. And Samoa Joe now a boot to the side of the skull of Apollo Crews. And I mean, Apollo Crews is out. Crews, I think he's done. He just had the wind knocked out of him. Might have even knocked himself out when he missed that dive. And Samoa Joe has got him up to the top rope. And this'll do it. Muscle Buster. It's over. You can count to 100. Crews is out. Wait a minute, but Samoa Joe not going for the pin. Samoa Joe not going for the pin off the Muscle Buster. Instead, he's gonna add extra emphasis on this victory, the Coquina Clutch. And I mean, Crews is already out. Referee's got no choice but to call it. Crews was out off the Muscle Buster. The referee calls it. I mean, Crews was not going to be able to tap out. He was out cold. I think he was out before Joe even locked in the Coquina Clutch. But nonetheless, Joe sends an emphatic message to AJ Styles. Will that be the fate of AJ Styles? Will he succumb to the wrath of Samoa Joe this Sunday? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. And until next time, keep on YouTubing.